Alright, so I've been playing this pretty cool game recently called Palworld, and I wanted to do a bit of a challenge. So after playing for a while, getting some of the cool things in the game, I really wanted to do something pretty fun. Bit of a challenge for myself. I was curious how far I could get in this game. Alright, let's get right into this. Well, looks like we're getting straight into it. Alright, so as you can see, past me wasn't having a good time with the menus, that's for sure. Trying to figure out live split is harder than it looks on the first try. I've never attempted this run before, this will be my first time, and that's why I really wanted to give it a whirl. I was curious on how far I'd be able to get. So, off to a bit of a rocky start, with not getting the timer up instantly, but I'm sure it's fine. Now, my plan going into this is to first off get to the first boss tower while grabbing all the teleporters along the way. Now, I know this NPC, when you talk to them, it gives you 10 wood, so I thought I'd take advantage of that. And there's always a chest, I'm pretty sure, under this bridge here, so I went to grab that. Didn't honestly help me that much, but at the time I thought it was a great idea. After this, what I'm looking for as I'm running down the hill to get to the first tower is for any sticks and stones and power spheres. They're extremely important in the beginning of this run, so it is a little bit luck dependent based on that. As we get into it, get to the first fast travel station, and I see a chest and a power sphere, making sure to get all the chests and power spheres along the way. They are extremely important, and we'll be needing a lot of them. Once I get to the tower, I start setting up a basic base just to get some things done. And now that we're at the tower, we can start really getting into the meat of what I've planned to do here. So there's two places we need to go. We need to go to the tower and unlock the tower teleporter, set up a small base, and go to the village. But for now, I'm just catching my first power, which will be used in the base later on. And 5 minutes, got our first power. Running over to the village now, just the opposite way from the tower. And I see some fire foxes. So I go to try and catch one of these, as be needing them as well. For smelting ingots, and that's about it. Won't be cooking really any food. And I'm keeping my eyes peeled for one certain PAL that you can find around the village area, which will be essential. And I see it right now as I'm finding the fire spark. I accidentally kill it, but it's fine because I got this PAL, which is incredibly important and helps the run out more than any other PAL. I would have to say I successfully catch it, and I'm able to keep moving towards the village. Once we get to the village, we don't need to do anything here in particular yet, just activate the teleporter. Now there is a trader at the village, which if you have an excess of gold in the run, is very helpful for getting anything you might need. I didn't end up using it too much though. Now, fast travel back here to set up, back to the tower to set up a power box, and I unlock some things in the technology menu just to help me out a bit later. So once I unlock those things, I go to set up the base, run in the wrong direction, which isn't good for time at all, but it's right. We're just seeing how far I can get. So I set up the power box. Realize I can't build it here. Start freaking out that I'm not going to be able to build it here. But I find a nice little spot next to these trees, which is good to build it. Set the power box up. And then after I'm done, I start running to do the first big glitch of the run. Basically, the only big glitch of the run. Now, when you hit these officers in the village, you get a wanted for assault. And the more you hit them, the more your wanted goes up. That doesn't matter too much. You don't want to hit them too much, or you're just going to get insta-killed by extremely high-level soldiers. You just want to hit them once and head over to the tower. They'll teleport with you, so try not to get shot. Should be alright though. Now, as soon as you get into the boss fight, you're going to want to try and make either the boss hit the soldiers, so then the soldiers will shoot the boss, or just make the soldiers directly shoot the boss. Either way, the boss, after being shot, will freak out, and that's exactly what you needed to do. I had a bit of trouble here in my run, trying to get the soldiers to aggro or shoot the boss accidentally, but I finally get it here, and now I just gotta go hide. One of the soldiers shoots the boss, I don't realize at this point, and now I've kind of realized, alright, now you want to make sure you get this back bonus. So you throw it at the back, you'll get back bonus, and it'll automatically catch. If you do it any other way, it's not going to catch. They're invincible unless you can get that back bonus. Then you just have to reset because you're not getting out of there. And you can just teleport back to your base. It's right next to the tower and grab your stuff. And you've already got one of the strongest powers in the game. I forget what number, but I think a legendary power. At least an extremely strong power. And it's got something like 30,000 health, which is ridiculous. This is a quick frame by frame of the next 5 to 6 runs I did of the tower. To get back, I have 5 of them, and I've got a full team of some of the best powers in the game, which is crazy. Now here, I'm just setting up the base, I'm relocating it to a better spot, a bit further down, next to a metal node for easier metal collection later on. Bit of a slow walk down there. While we're going down, I'll discuss the plan of what we're planning to do. So, what I really want to do for this run is see how strong I can get, obviously, the powers and everything else, such as like how good I can get the base set up in an hour, how many powers can I get, you know, all the basic type of stuff. Uh, so that's why I decided to do this run, and so far it's off to a pretty good start. But this next part of the run, I'm planning to do a lot of base setup to get, well, a lot of the stuff you need to get any further than this. Now, I want to set up a tactic for the Vixie, the Power Fox, whatever you want to call it. So, once I get this, and then I realize I've got no one to work on it, which I actually had the legendary powers that I caught would have worked on it, but I didn't know this at the time, so I'm running around looking for a power to get to build a farm. End up dying but it's alright. So what we're trying to do is get power to get this power farm up, because once the farm's up, the Vixie will start grazing, which has a chance to dig up certain things such as sphere balls, power spheres, and arrows and gold, which are all things that really help the run. So I find just a odd sphere laying around. I decided here I'm just looking to catch some powers. I find a extra sphere, and I don't have a Firefox yet, so I attempt to catch it, realizing I have two power spheres, so I can get pretty much building power in this, so I'm not too worried about it. The fox is putting up a pretty hard fight at the time, but with a little bit of effort and some decent dodging, I'm able to try and throw a ball, but I miss as it dodges me perfectly. Now I'm worried, contemplating whether or not I should catch it. I decided I just shouldn't, try and find a ball later on. So I'm looking around for a power sphere, and I see one over here, which is great. Now the Ixodia, I probably should have killed this one here, but I wasn't thinking too far ahead into the future. They're gonna be pretty important later on. But right now I'm looking for something that can build, and I see the cat power. No, it can build and mine, which is exceedingly helpful. So I go to catch it, and I successfully get it. Now back at base, setting up power beds, just improving the base in general, while the powers work on the farm to get it set up so I can have infinite power sphere production, infinite arrow production, and technically infinite gold production, but you don't get a lot, so it won't be too helpful. It's mainly the power spheres which you get a lot of. Just finishing up this. Get the Vixie on the roster. Got the power beds to build as well after this. And I know next major thing is to improve the base. Just to get the base up and leveled up so I can get more powers at the base. I set up a basic bed, just meeting the requirements to level up the base. There's certain requirements you gotta meet. Pretty easy. Now I've gone off to get penguin power because they are good for watering crops, and the next thing I'm getting is a berry plantation. So I had the first power I got was the one that planted berries, so I didn't need to worry about that. But I had to have a 2v1 with these guys. Which, if you play the game, you know these guys are probably one of the strongest early powers, I would say. But it wasn't too hard since I'm way over leveled compared to them. So I'm easily able to catch one, and this also gives us the ice cores, which are going to come in handy later for making clothes that can go into the winter biomes, which is ice organs, which is really useful. I killed an Ixodia here, realizing that I wouldn't need to. I actually attempted to catch and wasted a lot of balls, which wasn't a great idea. But I still got the leather. Now I build the berry plantation. I've got the powers that'll work on it. Now here, I think that I have the Vixie. I'm looking around, I realize the Vixie can harvest, but it never does it, so I end up getting something else that can harvest later on. Uh, Upgraded again, and this was the second last upgrade. So now I'm working on the final upgrade for the base that I'll be getting in this run, which I could have gone for more, but I didn't really need any more after this point. Now, after that, I attempted the first tower boss, fighting it normally. After a little bit of an intense fight, I realized I'm not dealing great damage. Obviously, electric being weak to electric, still doing up there in the 200s, but it's just, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat it in 10 minutes. Maybe if I continued, I would have, but I decided just to try and get a bit stronger before I attempt it. As now I technically only had around 8 minutes. So one of the things I wanted to do to improve is get a Nightwing, which is the first power that you can get that can actually fly. Well, not the first power you can get, but like common first power. Trying to aggro it with the power sphere so it comes down. And once it's aggroed, I put down my OP power. Obviously doesn't take any damage from anything because it's got a ridiculous amount of health. Have a fight, and I'm able to catch the bird without too much trouble, which is great. And now the main thing I'm trying to work towards is to get obviously weapons, and then I hit the hour mark. This is the time limit I set for myself because I wanted to see how far I could get in an hour. Unfortunately, I didn't really get that far. I mean, I got some really strong legendary powers and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool, but in terms of the grand scheme, obviously I had planned a lot more, so I was a little bit disappointed here, but it was alright. But I ended up deciding that I wasn't done and that I'd keep going to see how long it would take me before I can get ridiculously OP, which I'm already OP with 5 of these legendary powers, but I wanted to get as strong as I can, obviously level up as much as I could in a reasonable amount of time. Here I show it's 103. The max is 101, so it's definitely one of the best powers in the game. There we have it. So I thought I'd attempt the final boss just before I start the timer back up, and I wasn't able to, not the final boss, the first tower boss, but final boss of this run, you could say. Anyway, getting back into it, start the timer back up, and my first goal is to catch a Lamble. She's going to be super important to the run. I get back, I put the Lamble out, start making cloth, which you get from wool, dropped by the Lamble when it's grazing, much like the Vixie. Uh, Now I go into the dungeon right next to the base, which is also near the tower. That's why I decided to build there, to get as many palladium fragments as I will need for the run. Mining these is way better than mining the small nodes, which means going into the dungeon is way more worth it. I'm able to get 80 and head out and make Statue Power, which is one of the upgrades for the base, and then the Power Gear Workbench, which is the other upgrade for the base. And I need the Power Gear Workbench. The Statue Power won't really come into play I level up the base to its max level, and then start looking through the technology of what I need to get. I've got the Tundra outfit, which is one of the things I'm gonna need, and I need the Nightwing saddle, which I'm 3 levels off, and need a lot of stuff to craft. Now, I'm going to farm leather for it, but in between this and obviously me farming leather, I fought the boss a few more times and just went around catching powers that I've seen, as I've basically infinite power spheres now, which got me up to the level I needed to be. But I'm just fighting the Ixodia and the Firefoxes as they drop leather. Ixodia are the best for leather, so I'm trying to fight those mainly. They are stronger though, so they do have a little bit of a fight. As I don't have many arrows right now, I'm trying to save them. Getting into melee combat isn't a great idea though with these guys. But it's right. I end up killing them both. Not too much of a hassle. Unfortunately, here I was farming leather and my recording cut out and I lost the rest of the footage of the run. Now the run went for 2 hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes, I'm pretty sure. 2.5 hours. I'm not exactly sure at this point, but I decided to reenact basically the rest of the run. Obviously, there's a lot I missed, but I thought I'd try and do it. Now I'm looking at the Tundra outfit here. Once I make it, just need ice coolers and cloth, which we have both of. After I get the Nightwing saddle, uh, I'm able to ride Nightwing, which is a super important step in getting overpowered. This probably would have been at the 1 hour and 40 to 50 minute mark. I got Nightwing saddle, and that's the tower we need to head to, which is a big journey. You needed to go through here, just heading over to the just traveling, and you want to make sure you get as many teleporters as you can along the way. Now, this cliff you to climb up is really hard, that's why you need the Tundra outfit as well. So you don't freeze here. You basically got to do metal node parkour on the side of the mountain with a bird. It's not the easiest thing, but once you get it, it's alright. In the actual run, I did die here, freezing to death, which was super unfortunate. And I had to build another, I had to make another Tundra outfit and fly back up. So do not come here at night time because the Tundra outfit is not going to protect you. Make sure it's daytime. Now, after this, you just head over to this teleporter up here on the mountain, right next to the tower. Once you get up here, you should be alright to grab this. And now heading to the next part, and that is getting overpowered. So you just want to do the exact same thing we did near the beginning of the run. Shoot this good old guy, and head all the way over to the tower. Now, once you're here, you want to run from the tower or fly from the teleporter to the tower and just head in, just like normal. When I was doing this in the normal run, I think it was around the 210 mark, 220 mark. So just get off and enter. Sure, and you can skip. Now with this boss, you want to fly it right above it. That's the best I've found. Make sure you dodge its first attack. It can kill you instantly. You want to fly right above it, and its hitbox is so big that the guards will often just shoot it. Now wait for it to go all the way, and you make sure you get that back bonus. You really need to make sure you get the back bonus. I've thrown it too early before, and I've gotten it. Once you get the back bonus, you get the PAL, and that's a level 50 PAL. And I went from level 15 to 25 in one go when I first did this. And I proceeded to catch 5 more of them, which got me to the 2 hour and 40-minute mark. Spent 6 days on it, and I got to level 34. There's all 6 of the level 50 powers I got. This is the point where you kind of OP. By the way, they all have 200,000 health. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next one.